What's up, everyone? We're out here today in beautiful Golden, Colorado, taking a look at my brand new 2021 Yamaha T7. This bike is new to me, new to, I imagine, a lot of riders. I have about 550 miles on it so far. I wanted to make a video to point out some of the features that I've really enjoyed, that I've really fallen in love with in the last a month or so that I've had the bike, as well as point out some features that someone might be interested in if they're interested in buying the bike. I know that they are very difficult to get right now. I personally wasn't able to test ride one or didn't know anyone with one to test it before I purchased it, so certainly a scary aspect of buying a new motorcycle, but everything they say about them is true. This bike is incredible. I've really loved it, and want to point out some of my favorite features. Just looking at the bike, first look here, I just think it's a really sharp looking bike. This is the ceramic ice color, so we have the blue in the rims, as well as with the black back body panel, as well as in the tank guard there, or the tank panel. One thing that did surprise me about the bike was just this distance. This was a lot. It's a lot. It seems very tall, but I wouldn't say that it rides very tall. And as well as I really enjoyed the gold forks. I think it's a really nice accent. First aspect of the bike I wanted to take a look at were the wheels, tires, brakes, and suspension. As we can see here, we have our front wheel with the blue colorway for the ceramic ice, with the 21-inch front wheel. We have the Pirelli Rally STR tires stock, nice block pattern here in the front, and then in the rear. I have not personally ridden these tires before. They seem like they have plenty of big blocks, and people are saying they're getting a lot of life out of them. I can't comment on this, but I think for a stock tire, the reviews online, pretty good. So I've been happy with them so far. And we got a 150/70/18 the rear here, so 18-inch wheel, 150 wide, 70% sidewall. Looking at the brakes, Bembo sets all the way around. We got dual caliper, dual rotor here in the front. I found that in the front there's been plenty. They bite great, definitely able to take me down from speed very efficiently. In the rear though, Bembo rear brake in the back as well. A lot of complaints about this brake. I would be one of them as well. It seems very soft. I haven't had a chance to really take it off road to really understand how I can drag it and how that it really responds. But you know, it is a brake, so that's good. I'm sure there's a way to upgrade it here in the future as these bikes become more popular, more people get a chance to have them. Rear shock, as we can see in there, we have a hard and soft adjustment there, as well as with the front forks. I found the suspension to be fine. Really no complaints there at all. You know, then the rear spring, people say it's soft, but for me, about 6'1", 170, I found it fine. Maybe once I have luggage on here and everything else, that might change. But until then, no changes. In terms of the handguards, seems to be plenty for stock. I do have a set of bark busters that I will be putting on there. And in terms of the mirrors, again, plenty until I break them off. Then I'll put some double takes on there. I think from a standpoint of how the bike looks and the actual stance of it, I feel like when you first look at it, it looks a little high. I don't find that to be the case. I think that this distance here is a little bit deceiving. You know, from an engine guard and crash guard perspective, I think the guards have to be pretty involved. Just because there's so much space here. There's so much space for the engine, and there's so much space for that tank. But I find the riding position to be fine. I actually find it to be quite slim when I'm actually on the bike. My knees are able to tuck in here, no problem. And then, and as well as there's plenty of room on that seat. Looking at the cockpit, I found to be very comfortable. The only thing I would change is in the riding position of raising these handlebars a bit. But looking at the front of the bike, I really like the front fairing. I think it looks really nice. It provides plenty of air resistance and protection for me when I'm riding on the highways, as well as it's very easy to see through. Checking out the lighting and electrical for the bike, as we said, we mentioned these LEDs here. Really like them. I think they're really sharp. I think Yamaha did a great job there. We did mention these indicators. These are just the normal stock ones. They remind me a lot of the ones in the KLR. When they break, I'll be replacing them with a slimmer LED one. Looking into the cockpit as well, we do have our, on the left side of the bike, we have our cigarette lighter here. So we have a way to be able to, I just have a USB plug here to charge my phone. All that's wired within the bike and ready to go. I do have some Yamaha hand grip warmers coming. So I'll be installing those, as well as you have your GPS mount for in terms of the tower here. One thing that I really liked about the bike is that they had everything built in from the standpoint of there's 4 pigtails within the bike, 2 lower, 2 upper, depending on the voltage requirements needed and the wattage requirements needed for the accessories you want to run. So if you want to run new lights in the front, there's already a plug for there. You do not have to cut the wiring harness. For the hand grips, the grip warmers I'll be putting in here, I do not have to cut the wiring harness, which is awesome. I can buy a stock OEM adapter that plugs directly in the wiring harness, and it'll be turnkey on for power. So that I really liked. I think that Yamaha did a really nice job with that, and I think that they really addressed their market for the person that's buying this bike, who's going to buy it and do the things they want to do to it. So I think from the first person who has it, that's a great benefit, but as well as for the resale, you're not going to have to buy, assuming the person does it correctly, you're not going to buy a bike and then have to deal with a mess of wires to understand how this person wire up these hand grips. Oh, you know what? I know exactly what they did it because they used the OEM pigtails. So well done, Yamaha. Looking at the display, I really like this display. I like how simple it is. I don't know if other people are looking for that, but this is exactly what I wanted. I wanted a clear display. I wanted a simple display. I did not want a color display. Something that just provided just the basic information. We have our tach, we have our fuel, we have our odometer, as well as with different settings here: air temp, engine temp, average fuel consumption, as well as trip odometers. All here pushed into a very tight, concise package. Gear indicator here as well with a clock. Very easy to read at night. Very easy to read during the day. Found it to be fantastic. Up here we also have a GPS mount here that people have been mounting things to. So you have like a pretty much a tower already built in here. Starting up the bike, we will. Oh, we're good there. I think the bike sounds very good. I think it sounds plenty. It's got plenty of grunt without being overbearing. I really liked it so far. Looking further into the controls, I found them to be very comfortable, at least for my riding position. Clutch, headlights, flasher here in the front. But one feature I've really enjoyed here, and one thing that I normally don't see on a bike like this, is the 4-ways. I really like the idea of having the 4-ways built into the bike. I think this is a great safety feature. I really enjoy how Yamaha did that, and certainly as well as the horn. Here you have your selector for the odometer, as well as with the engine on and off button. Looking at the Breakin Period, this is my first brand new motorcycle, so there was definitely a little bit of a learning curve to understand what the Breakin Periods were. Basically the entire Breakin Period is about 1,000 miles, 0 to 600. Keep it at or below 5,000 RPMs, from 600 to 1,000, at or below 6,000 RPMs. First oil change at that 600 mile mark. We'll be getting that next week, and then afterwards. I'll put a table here about the oil changes and as well as the valve adjustments. Everything's felt extremely reasonable. Yamaha, I think, did a great job here with that. All the intervals seemed no complaints. This bike I think will be awesome for any sort of long trips that I've planned, as well as to be able to extremely reliable from a standpoint of like it's going to work. So yeah, extremely happy there. And that's the first look at my 21 Yamaha T7. I've loved this motorcycle so far. I imagine I'm gonna love it for a lot longer. Really enjoy how it looks stock. Really excited to see how it looks with all the mods. Really excited to see where all the adventures it takes me. Thanks so much for watching. Any questions or comments, please let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you out there.